The World Environment Day has been marked in Cross River State with the sensitization and education of the public, including students, on the effect of indiscriminate plastic waste disposal. The theme for this year's World Environment Day is Solutions to Plastic Pollution, and during the celebration in Calabar, the students were shown how to recycle plastic to use in creating art designs that will be used to beautify rather than litter the environment.
In a very small location to begin to reflect on the issues around the pollution, the plastic pollution. If you take Cross River State, for example, you see our drains are blocked. Over 70% of the waste that is generated in this state is plastic. So we need to begin to reflect, how does it affect us? All stakeholders have a big role to play. Government has a big role to play in terms of policy formulation, in terms of setting the right machineries in place to ensure that these wastes are properly managed. We in our different homes, when we gather these plastic bags, how do we dispose them? These are questions that we should begin to react and question ourselves about and say, okay, what can we do differently?
I'm trying to make a key holder that's going to be very easy to walk around, put your key inside of it. I used the plastic that is in the mouth of a bottle, and this is the plastic. That's it. I got it from all these sides of the bottles. Now all you have to do is just, when you get the first one, when you get the first one, you start putting.
We're now joined by Dr. Osuji, who is the National Program Officer of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and is to take a look with us at our environment and how to keep it safe. Dr. Otu, thank you for coming to Newsnight.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Now talking about plastic and waste management in general, take us through how we can sort our waste from home to the dump site and then to the factories where we can have waste to wealth, because a lot of Nigerians need sensitization on waste sorting from waste generation at home. Take us through the process.
Yeah, thank you. Let me just start by saying that the World Environment Day has been marked for the past 50 years. Each year, the United Nations will select a theme or themes that will address the global environment problem. In Nigeria, we have a lot of waste generated from various sources: household, industrial, agricultural, even the medical waste. So everything, the waste is accumulating yearly. Like what you rightly said, there's need to sort and recycle them. These waste materials are also wealth. So what we're advocating is the use of modern technology in sorting the waste, then reclassify them, recycle them, and reuse them. So it is a form of a circular economy where nothing is wasted. The waste product is recycled and reused along its value chain, as long as it is possible. So with that, we maintain the circular economy principle of using, making sure that waste go through a lot of value chains to recycle them from waste product back to other products that can still be used.
How more vital is this for plastic? That seems to be a major challenge. I mean, it's shocking to hear that 5 trillion pieces of plastic waste occupy 360 million square kilometers of land globally. And I recall there's a commercial that actually, says there's more plastic in the oceans than fish. Really shocking. What exactly needs to be done about plastic? Should we just begin to have a conversation around getting rid of plastic entirely, or this recycling that you talk about?
Plastic is a major problem. Plastic waste management is becoming a very big global issue. In fact, when you see the statistics from different countries, you'll be shocked. Plastic found everywhere in marine ecosystem, even in land. In marine ecosystem, it's becoming a big problem because it's causing a big issue to fish and to marine aquatic animals. Then when you talk about human health and environmental degradation, it's a big problem too. That's why the UN and the global body should be interested in the management, the effective management of plastic waste. So in doing that, it creates job actually. It creates job, it creates wealth, then employment, as well as the sustainable environment. So there's need to get rid of them. If not, in the nearest future, our marine ecosystem will suffer. Even our own human health will be in danger. That's why we are interested, especially the UN is interested in making sure that we have effective plastic waste management put in place by every country.
What does this plastic waste management entail? I mean, what exactly are you talking about as far as plastic waste is concerned? Because it's non-biodegradable. No matter how you break it down, use it for other things, it still remains in the environment, considering how long it takes to decompose, if it ever does, over 500 years.
Now the UN is promoting the use of biodegradable materials. Right. Before it used to be non-biodegradable. So within our own office in UNIDO, we have done a lot of workshops, conferences on management of non-biodegradable materials. Especially we are working with Federal Ministry of Environment and other national partners and stakeholders. The actual process involves collection. We need to have a good dump. We need to have a good site, collection centers. We need to have refuse and garbage labeled in people's houses where they will sort. At least sorting starts from household, where they will start different waste, especially plastic waste, sort them out. Then we have collection centers, which is the work of private sectors or even government. Collect these plastic waste materials, then sort them out, recycle them. Some of them need cleaning, recycle them, and now reuse them. That's where we now apply the principle of circular economy, whereby all of that along the value chain, we are not going to waste any material.
Doctor, I'm happy you mentioned the value chain the second time. I used to live in a place where the government will give residents 2 bags, every home 2 bags, one orange and then one black. The borough will provide that for you so that you can put plastic in and other non-degradables in the orange, and then the waste, the degradable in the black. Okay, so take us through the value chain process, because I know that if Nigerians are aware of the value chain, they can better be carried along and properly sort and dispose of their waste. So take us through the value chain and what the government can also do to help citizens better sort their wastes.
Yeah, what the government can really do is to create awareness. Awareness education is very important. In developed countries, like what you said, we have different containers for sorting our household waste. But here in Nigeria, I think in some places, maybe Lagos, where it's being practiced, but in other states, it's not possible. They don't even do that. So there is need to create awareness.
I doubt very much if it's really happening to that extent in Lagos.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's not effective.
With the huge population
so
in Lagos.
Awareness creation is very important. So that citizens will be aware of what they are supposed to do. Some don't even know the effect of plastic waste. Some don't even know what actions to take. So when we create awareness, the citizens will now know what they should do. So I think that's where we should start.
Maybe it should even start from ensuring that those who are appointed to handle environmental issues or waste management and all of that actually are aware, they know, because I've had to actually interview a commissioner of environment once and asked him about his plans for non-biodegradable waste, and he absolutely had no idea what I was talking about. So if you have that kind of situation, how will the people be informed? I mean, you can only give what you have.
I think another approach is strengthening the capacity of all these agencies involved.
Right.
Now in UNIDO, we are working with Abuja Environmental Protection Board and LAMA in Lagos. We hope to extend to other states. You strengthen their capacity to do their job, create enabling policies, and make sure that those policies are implemented, and make sure that the institutions, they have the right tools to work. So by doing that, and what I just said on awareness creation, so that both the agencies involved will be strengthened with the right tools and right policies, then the citizens will now know their own responsibility. I think by doing that, we will see a better result.
But now that the rainy season is here,
it's going to get worse.
I mean, what would be your advice?
Should we be bothered that the rains are coming?
Yes. You know, plastic waste, they clog drainages, cause problems in the marine environment. So during rainy season, it's even more severe. So citizen education on plastic management is very important. If we have these things in our, like the sorting bags or containers in our homes, it starts from there. And we have effective environmental management agencies in place who can periodically remove this from our homes and take them to a sorting ground where you have the right tools.
When we were small, I remember when we were small, there used to be these environmental agents coming to check, but I don't think we have.
We used to call them wole wole.
We don't have them anymore.
Not wole wole, wole wole.
Okay,
well, with the help of Jeff funds, the UN is working
sanitary
with
inspectors.
The UN is working with some of these agencies to strengthen their capacity, so that especially in Abuja and in Lagos, we have a lot of waste being generated daily.
Absolutely. Yes. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Osuji Otu. Dr. Osuji Otu, thank you very much for joining us. National Program Officer.